A great week so far and you're feeling blessed this morning. Well, for my devotional this morning, I just thought maybe we can spend some time together to reflect on a verse that is a very famous verse from Hebrews 12 verse 1 and 2, which says, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. Let us run this race that's set before us with perseverance, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. And as I was reflecting on this verse, as I was thinking on this verse, I began to I was reminded of what's going on in our household at the moment, which is we're redecorating, like changing up some rooms and moving some things around. And one of the main things that we're trying to create is more space. But what we quickly realize is, as a household, we hold on to things that there's certain things that shouldn't not even be in our house that we've kept onto, like old radios that we don't even use, but we've kept onto them. And as I was reading this verse, I was reflecting on it, I began to feel challenging myself. What are some of the things that I hold on to that weigh me down, that are not necessary, that I could let go of to ensure that I create space? And I hope that's something that I can encourage you to do as well, to reflect on certain things that maybe some are not so obvious and some are obvious, but things that are not necessary that we've held on to that are weighing us down, but when we release them, we create space. And as we're going out of lockdown, I hope that that's something that we can do. Personally, for me, one thing I'm going to do is making sure that this thing or this idea of being busy stops, that I am intentional with my time, that certain things in my schedules I can get rid of to ensure that they're not weighing me down, but I'm creating space for me to fix my eyes on Jesus, creating space to be inspired by how to walk this incredible race that has been set before us, creating space to encounter God in a new way, to be re-inspired by the works that He's doing in me and through me. And I believe that for you guys as well. But what we got to do is take that step, reflect, think of the things that we're holding back to get rid of, to ensure that we create space for God to move afresh. So I want to encourage you to do the same, to reflect this morning and ask the Holy Spirit to redirect you, to direct you with maybe certain things that are not so obvious that we need to get rid of, that are unnecessary in our lives. I hope that as you begin to reflect, you will begin to release in God and creating space for you to encounter God in a fresh new way. Stay blessed.